can't really tell, but they look they look like Yorkshire puddings. Hello and welcome to Colins Time to Bake, an extra special bonus episode. This week I'm going to be trying something with butter and I'm going to make croissants. How did I get on? You'll see. The recipe today comes from joecooks.com and it seemed to be quite straightforward. It seemed to be going quite well until I had to put them together. But let's get started and let's work our way through the recipe, shall we? So the recipe asks that you put in 1.5 cups of lukewarm milk and then add in 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Finally add in 3¼ teaspoons of active dry yeast and mix this together until frothy. Add this, you need to let it bloom for a while apparently, which I don't think I did, if I'm honest. Then you need to add in 3¼ cups of all-purpose flour, but up to 4 cups if needed. Add this in gradually using either a dough hook in your stand mixer or with a spoon or however you decide to do it. Mix this together until you form a lovely dough. So we're just going to be watching me add the flour for a couple of minutes and letting it turn into a dough. Ah, there we go. Lovely dough. Okay, tip this onto a lightly floured surface. Ooh, nice and lightly floured. And then start to knead. Please do not judge my kneading process. It works for me. I have no idea if I'm doing it correctly. I'm sure there's wonderful methods that I could use. Maybe I will do a whole separate episode on learning how to knead properly. But until then, here you go. This is what I'm doing. Once you've rolled this out and you have a lovely dough that's been kneaded for long enough as you feel, pop it into a lightly oiled bowl and cover it up. Pop it into the refrigerator for about an hour. Now you'll want to get 3 sticks of butter. So with your 3 sticks of butter, it doesn't really say anything about mixing them together or doing anything like that, so I just put them together. It says to use plastic wrap, but I've used parchment paper. And you're supposed to pound it and roll it until the butter forms a nice 8 by 5 inch rectangle. So here's me making a hot mess with that, trying to do the best I can. Right, so that's done, and now what you need to do is flour your work surface again and then roll your dough that's been proved into a rectangle that's about 16 by 10 inches. For some reason I have decided just to pat the dough. I'm sure that's helping loads. So keep rolling until you get there. I have a measuring tape, so I've been measuring it to make sure it's correct. And place the butter directly in the center of the dough. What I realized when I went to fold it was that I had placed it the wrong way. So I turned it horizontally so it looked a little bit easier. And you want to fold down the top third and fold up the bottom third. So you have like, this is called a letter fold. Once you've done this, you want to roll it again to 16 by 10 inch rectangles and fold that in thirds into a letter again. And that is your first fold. You want to wrap this up in plastic and chill in the fridge for an hour. Take this out and do this 3 more times. So you want to take it out, roll it to 16 by 10 inch rectangle, fold up the bottom, fold down the top 3 times. Once you've done that, it's time to, well, it's actually time just to leave it in the fridge for at least 8 hours. Yay. Once you have left this to prove, you'll need to take the dough out and cut it in half. It says you can freeze half if you're only going to use half of it, which made me think you're going to make a lot of croissants, but that did not turn out to be the case. So then it said you want to roll it into a rectangle that's about 1/4 inch thick. So what I did was I rolled it to 1/4 inch thick and found out I had a tiny rectangle. It then said you needed to, that this person found it easier to cut it into 3 pieces. I didn't do that, but then it said you can use a pizza cutter and cut each square into 4 triangles. I thought it kind of meant across the diagonals because it wasn't really clear. So I did it that way, and the triangles didn't quite work, as you're probably seeing right now, and it made more of some sort of weird fat horseshoe thing. I don't really know what was going on here. So I rolled it into a rectangle a little bit flatter, maybe about 5 millimeters thick, and cut out some triangles and tried it that way. And it seemed to work a bit better. And then I popped this onto a baking tray and put it into the oven. And let's see what happened. The croissants are currently in the oven. We'll have a quick look and see how they're getting on. Can't really tell, but they look they look like Yorkshire puddings. So they're in the oven, but I forgot to put the egg wash on, so I'm gonna have to take them out in just a minute to do that and hope that they turn out okay. Oh dear, I'm gonna turn it down to 375 like it says to do, and we'll see what happens. In the meantime, let's get them out. And ooh. Oh, this is not working well. Crispy, crispy. And the little one. Oh god. What did I forget to do? I forgot to baste them. Oh no. It's nearly time to take my monstrosities out the oven. Well, it's been fun. If anyone has any tips and tricks on what to do and how to make croissants a little bit better, let me know. But yeah, this has been butter. This is me attempting to use it, and now it's time to, well, check on them. Might not even be ready. We'll see what's happened. Woo! We've got these. And these things. How do you know if they're ready? I have a bloody clue. Oh, well, they look nice and golden, don't they? Oh, lovely. I can see the layers. I just have absolutely no idea how to fix that. Well, we know what happened with that one. Oh dear. We're gonna cut this bad boy open and see what's inside. It's underbaked. Just stick it back in. Oh, it's almost there. Just stick them back in. So I'm gonna go with they're all underbaked. I'm just gonna stick them back in the oven and see what happens. 5 minutes, that'll do. I've also turned the temperature down a little. I'm gonna try this one though. I mean, it tastes like a croissant. It just tastes a little underbaked. So you can see when they've been cut open, they're still slightly underbaked, but you know, lots of good lamination or something going on in there possibly. Anyway, that's me. See you later. So there you go. I'm gonna try that again with all of your help, but this was my first practical of the season. So if there's anything else you think I should try as a practical, please let me know, because these did not work out well. But I'm learning. My name is Colin, this is Colin's Time to Bake. Back to basics. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.